What's up, muscle car people? This is Bring Up Muscle Cars, and I'm Quinn. Today, we're going to go over my STH modded Fiesta ST. It's a 2016. I bought this car a little over a year ago. I plan on running it in H Street, which is a stock class, but things got out of control, and I like modding my cars, so I ended up in STH. So today, I'm going to go over some of the mods that I have on this car with you. So follow along. Okay guys, so I know if you've been following along with the channel, you've been able to see all the Fiesta Friday videos we've been doing, so you can see some of the mods I've been doing, but I'll go over it really briefly with you guys. So after I did the Koni shocks in the rear, I did the tune. I just couldn't help myself, and that immediately took me to STH, at which point I had to kind of strategize a setup that would work for me. Because this is my daily driver, I didn't want to go too aggressive. I was also on kind of a budget, and so with the tune, I'll show you some of the supporting mods. So we have the Whoosh Motorsports Ram Air intake. This is a limited edition white intake. Honestly, does it give you any power gains? I don't think so. It sucks a little bit more hot air, to be honest with you, but it does make a lot of cool noises. Secondly, we have the crossover pipe, which I had powder coated purple by Chuck T Powder Coating. He's a local guy here, great company.
He's our friend.
He's also our friend, yeah. We've had links to his Facebook page in the past on some other videos. It's tough to see, but I did a big fat Whoosh Motorsports V3 intercooler. This is the largest intercooler that they offer that goes to the stock location on the car. It does a really great job of controlling intake air temps. And so basically the tune I'm running now is still meant for a stock car. So there's a lot more power to be able to get out of this setup. I just haven't gone there yet, and will I do that? I'm not sure. I like knowing that my car will be reliable as a daily driver, and that we're not pushing it to the threshold of what it's capable of doing power-wise. So let's move on to the back here. In the rear, well, as far as suspension goes, actually, I did full Koni yellows all around. They're single adjustable shocks. I have it full stiff in the rear, half stiff in the front. I put Swift spec.r lowering springs on with the PowerFlex spring perches. And once I lowered the car, I started to realize that I kind of lost a lot of the rear rotation. So what I did to remedy that is, Jared, if you come back here and you look underneath, I did the DNA adjustable rear sway bar. So this has really brought a lot more rear end rotation to the car. As you can see, I'm on the medium setting now. I plan on going to full stiff once I get a little bit more seat time with this current setup. I also have stainless steel brake lines. I don't really have an aggressive pad set up right now. I'd like to do that in the future. As I mentioned before, I have RT660s on. Inside the car, I have the short shift Whoosh Motorsports kit with the shifter bushings. It kind of just gives it a more solid feel with a little bit of reduction in throw. I like it a lot. And what else? I mean, obviously I have an access port. I don't really use it unless I'm reading codes or anything like that. But yeah, if I had to guess, it's probably making about 230 to 240 wheel torque and maybe about 200 horsepower. But I think it's plenty enough for an autocross. I like having the more torque to pull me out of corners and everything. The one thing, actually there's two things that I really think I could improve upon this build for STH. The number one thing would be a limited slip front differential. It's really expensive. I don't really feel like it's worthwhile pulling the trans out and everything to put it in, unless like I'm doing a clutch upgrade or something like that, or when I'm replacing the clutch. So that might be something that's going to happen down the road. The other thing too is I like to go a smaller diameter wheel and a little bit wider, wider wheel, wider tire. So right now the stock setup is 17 by 7, and so going to like 16 by 8 would be ideal. So for SEH, but the car is competitive. It holds its own. I'm able to place pretty reasonably well in packs, at least locally, top 15 generally speaking. It holds its own against WRXs. But yeah, I think the car, it's a great car. It's a great daily driver. It's so much fun. So a few things that I've done just for the interior and just, you know, things that just make being in the car a little bit nicer is the car came with the Sync 2 program, so it didn't have Apple CarPlay, but I remedied that by installing a new USB 3.0 hub inside the car, and then I had to, you probably can't see it, but I had to update then the firmware of the vehicle. The whole thing took about an hour to do, and it cost me about $100, so I definitely think it's a worthwhile upgrade. Now I know Jared, he has the Sync 1, and unfortunately he's not able to do that. You have to remove the whole head unit and swap out a new computer in there to make that work. So, but I definitely like it.
Oh, watch out.
I appreciate it. And the other thing, I have some nice WeatherTech floor mats. Honestly, for the $100 I spent on them, it's really, I think, saved the car's interior from spills, from mud, from dirt, all that type of stuff. It's just a little bit of extra protection.
Sound symposer.
Huh? Symposer. Right, so the other thing I did was I deleted the sound symposer. We have a video to that if you want to look it up, but basically what that would do is it was basically on the intake pipe, and once the car came under boost, it would basically inject fake sound into the cabin. I wasn't a big fan of that. I knew I was going to do exhaust as well, so I didn't want both of them happening, so I deleted that. That's a really simple mod. It's like $30 I think to do. That's another Whoosh Motorsports mod. I have the rear motor mount. I have a Boomba rear motor mount, which is, it's a pretty aggressive rear mount, so at idle it does vibrate a little bit. I also do have the Vibra Technics passenger side mount. I plan on doing the trans mount eventually, but you know, we'll get there eventually. Now the other thing I do like about my stratified tune is I can hit my resumption button, and if you can see on the display here, I can actually flick through my different maps. So number 1 is a 91, number 2 is 93, and number 3 is my Eco Tune, which limits me to 16 pounds of boost. Now, I just did a road trip with this vehicle on the Eco Tune, and I got an average of 38 miles per gallon. So I really think that's pretty impressive, especially for a car that you can rip around an autocross track. It really kind of does both really well. So I'll put it in third. We'll do a little bit of a pull. That was in the eco mode. So I'm going to take it back to the 91 or 93 tune, and we'll feel the difference. You feel it pulls harder?
Oh yeah.
Definitely a big difference between those two. I ride around in the Eco Tune all the time, just I think gets me a little bit better gas mileage, but I like having both options. Okay. Another thing that is cool about this tune as well is I have launch control, so if the clutch is in, it'll hold at 3,000 RPM and it will build boost, so we can actually launch this car.
Jesus.
The other nice thing about the tune is I also get another, I think it's about 500 RPM on the top end range, so that works really well for autocross where I'm staying in second gear. When I'm going through slaloms, I'll still bounce off the rev limiter, but it gives me a little bit of extra mile per hour that I can carry through those slaloms as well. And on top of that, the stock tune, if you would hit redline, it would just die off. Now I can actually keep it pinned at redline. So for like in a situation of autocross, it's going to make the car faster. You're going to get a faster time because you can actually hold at that speed. And yeah, that's my build as of now. So if you have any questions, ask your questions in the comments below. I'll answer them. And thanks for watching. If you have any future input, or you want to watch some more videos in the future, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And as always, if you have a fast car, you better bring it. Thanks.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to link a couple videos. Well, I'm going to link a video on this side right here, right under the S550 that you probably will like. And I'm going to link a playlist for something similar to what you just watched right here. Please click one of those. Click that subscribe button because we need as many subscribers as possible to keep bringing you this awesome content. Thanks for watching guys, and stay tuned for more action.